How much money do you make?
In the last 30 days, we made $250,000. So about $250,000.
How old are you?
19.
What do you do?
So we have a porn addiction app that helps hundreds of thousands of men around the world quit pornography.
And it's like a mobile app, like in the App Store.
That's right.
Okay. How long did it take to actually get to this point?
I mean, we've been in the business for about 4 months, 5 months now.
So you started it 4 months ago, 5 months ago. You're making $250,000 per month.
Right.
Is that recurring?
Well, this month is our biggest month.
Okay. But is it recurring? Is it a subscription? What's the price?
So it is a subscription, yeah. We've got like $12.99 a month plan. We've got a $45 a year. So we have a lot of cash coming through the door because a lot of people buy a yearly plan. So we can just reinvest that into more marketing. That's why,
Okay.
it's easy to scale.
Super interesting. Last question I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to get to everybody. Why did you decide to build this app out of all the apps in the world you could build?
I think it is just such an issue in today's world. A lot of OnlyFans and porn is normalized. No one knows about the side effects. So building an app for that market was just a no-brainer. Pun intended.
Was it a passion thing? Was money a part of it?
Both.
I think initially looking at the consumer app space and what was working, a lot of men don't talk about this. You don't go to your boy and be like, I'm addicted to porn, man. How do you help me?
Mm-hmm.
And so for us, we broke down the barriers, and it was incognito on the app. And so when we launched it, people knew they had an issue, and the app was there to help them. And so that's why we have one of the largest conversion rates in the industry.
First off, how did you guys start to meet each other? So there's the whole team here.
Right.
Say your name and what you do.
I'm Chris. I'm the lead designer.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
Cool.
I'm Alex. I do product and dev, and I'm 19.
I'm Connor. I'm 22, and I handle all growth, distribution, marketing, sales, etc.
Okay, great. And so how did you guys come together in the first place?
Well, this is a fun story.
Do you want me to tell it?
I'll start, then we'll
Okay,
go
well,
back
first
and
off, he's
forth.
my brother.
Oh, cool. Okay, easy.
So I was working on an app that held you accountable by losing money if you didn't work out. It since failed, but when doing that, I used YC's co-founder matching tool, which is a tool anyone can have access to. I saw Alex on there, and then I berated him on probably 8 different platforms, including 2 apps he's built. We hopped on a call. He's like, I don't like this idea at all, but we connected over our energy of just building stuff. And then coincidentally, a year later, I went to San Francisco to give Peer Pressure a last hurrah, and Alex was also there. We met up, picked him up in the rental car, got some Chipotle, told him I had an idea to help men quit porn, and his response was, I built that last week.
Oh.
And so
he naturally came to me and was like, okay, I'll run marketing for you. We have the product built. Let's work together. Let's try to figure something out. And here we are.
So you already had it built.
Yep.
You had the idea.
I had the idea, and I built a hypothesis built off of basically what Blake and Zach did with Cal AI, UMax. Dove into that, built my own hypothesis on top of it, and was like, I know how to market this. And then come late August, early September, they were broke at the time, and I took the only $3,000 I had in my bank account, and we turned it into $37K our first month.
That's wild. So you were the hypothesis that like you need a intrinsically viral product, basically, and you found a way to basically make this concept go viral.
I think it was more, you have a very high pain point that everyone's not willing to talk about, but they want solved, and distribution is key. And so we leverage influencers who aren't pushing anti-porn products, but they are pushing Christianity, fitness, things of that nature that are also synergetic with
it's such a big market
porn.
too. Why did you build this first then? Why did you have the idea to build it?
So me and Chris are actually in the self-improvement space, and like an aspect of self-improvement is NoFap, which is like seeing retention.
Okay.
And people say, it gives you so much energy and creativity and ideas, and that's, and because like porn and sexual drive is so inherent, it's such a hard addiction to quit. And we're like, okay, look, there's no apps on this. Let me build an app. And then, we just want to launch it. Yeah.
Were there competitors? Was there any other app on the market that was like...
There's
boomers.
There was one competitor, and it was called BrainBuddy, I believe. And the thing is about BrainBuddy, they've been in the market for about 14 years, and they have 0 marketing efforts. They've barely innovated in the last decade. So we thought it was a good gap to enter the market. And
Another thing to note, Covenant Eyes is another one, and they target a lot of older men.
Gotcha.
So their demographic is 35 and up.
There wasn't anything for Gen Z.
There's nothing for the
middle-aged
younger.
Always a good
And
opportunity.
we're Gen Z, right?
Yeah.
We consume the most OnlyFans stuff, and because of the rise of OnlyFans, because
You do?
But my point is, they were targeting a niche that we didn't relate to, so we built something better.
Interesting. Okay, so then you had the idea. you saw the opportunity. What is the actual product? Like, what is the experience like? Like, how did you figure out how to solve this problem for other people? Is there AI involved? Could you just explain the product?
Yeah, so fundamentally, it was mainly just a timer at first. I don't know if you ever heard of the concept NoFap streak, like how long you've been porn free for.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a timer at first. And then we leveled it up to be a community, so everyone that downloads the app can chat with each other and help each other out. And that's really helped people. We also have a bunch of breathing exercises. We have a panic button every time you're really, really tempted to jerk off. It like vibrates your phone. It's like, wake up, you have goals. Like, stay
How
focused.
does it go off? How do you know?
You just press it whenever you're tempted. You open it.
So it's like a
big
pattern
red button on your phone. You just press it.
Gotcha.
And it recalls your entire mission on why you want to quit.
Yeah.
So it's quite useful.
So what's the actual like flow like to do this? Like if you were like, okay, I downloaded this app, I really want to try to quit. What are you inputting on your phone? Like you said you set your goals.
Yeah. So initially in the onboarding, you go through a quiz to see if you actually need the app. So you go through about a 12-page quiz, and it basically calculates if you need it, and then it creates like a personalized plan for you to, like, if you need to quit or not.
What are the questions?
They're oddly specific. Like, has your exposure got more and more like twisted in a way? It's like, how long have you been addicted? When were you exposed to this? Blah 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 blah. We calculate their responses and show them if they need our app or not.
Who would you not say needs the app?
I think everyone that consumes porn should have our app because it's so destructive.
Mm-hmm.
It's so normalized as well.
Yeah, it's so normalized. So pretty much everyone. But unless you're clean, then of course you don't.
I think part of the trick is if you're downloading the app, you need the app.
Okay.
True.
And the quiz is just a reinforcer that
Yeah,
you
so that's
need
what I'm
the
asking.
app.
Is it more of like a psychological? Obviously, this is a good thing that people are doing, so there's no like foul play here. But like, is it more like a psychological, like mental, like getting them to even ask themselves that question to then answer? Because you had like this, what we mentioned earlier, like this mixed panel onboarding stat, like literally 12 different steps. It's like 98% people. Like no one's falling off. Like everyone's going through this, and so it's kind of designed to be part of the experience of quitting in and of itself.
Yeah. It's super high intent, and because it's such a taboo subject, no one talks about it. So when there is an app, there is an outlet for them to change and be a better person. They're gonna stick with the onboarding.
So it's almost like a journal.
Yeah.
In a way.
Anything can change though. If you're overweight, you have to accept the fact that you're fat and you need to hit the gym. So for this, I think it's reinforcing. Accept the fact that you are addicted and you need change, and here's the process to get change and help.
Okay, interesting. So walk me through this entire onboarding flow. I really want to understand. So you download the app.
Yeah.
You open it. Then you were asked a series of 12 questions, basically. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And then once they answered those 12 questions, what happened?
So pretty much.
Hello. So if you watch my podcast or other online podcasts, you're probably in the world of online business, and you probably watch a lot of content on it. As you probably know, making content is one of the most powerful ways to get customers for your business. And it's pretty much all I've done for the last 8 years. I've been able to grow my YouTube channel from 0 to 500,000 subscribers in a very quick time. And I've really seen success in a lot of different formats, a lot of different niches, because I truly understand the psychology of content. So I've decided to make a YouTube program called the YouTube Playbook, where I teach all of it very quickly in less than 2 hours. If you want to get that, it's the first link in the description. It's only $97. I promise it's not some fluffy basic course. It's exactly what I've learned by doing this day in and day out. It's filled with all actionable insights with a psychology first approach. So if you want to check that out, first link in the description. Back to the episode. And then once they answered those 12 questions, what happened?
So pretty much, it's download the app, then you get through a questionnaire. After you finish the questionnaire, you go to a symptom view, so where you can click which symptoms you have. So like low drive, no longer interested in girls, etc. Then it goes to another page where it shows like testimonials from people that have used our app. Then it goes to another slide where it says all the side effects of consuming porn, and then all the benefits of quitting and how our app will help you do that. And then we ask them for a review, so we rank higher in ASO, so App Store Optimization. Then we hit them with a paywall, and it says it's time to invest in yourself. And then using their name. It's like, hey, Alex, it's time to invest in yourself. Hit with the paywall. Now it's like, okay, look, for just $20 or $12.99 a month, I can quit porn forever. So it's such a cheap, exchange for such a great difference in your life.
Are you ever even like explaining what the product is, or how you actually like the steps to quitting, like after
We
the
explain
paywall?
the value.
Yeah.
So the outcome.
We're giving them the value in the onboarding of here's what users are saying, here's how it helps, here's what it does, and then when they get in, here are the features.
Gotcha. That's so smart. So it's basically like these are a lot of different psychology principles. So it's really smart that you're doing this. One, they're getting some little like skin in the game, answering all these questions, actually getting themselves to ask the question. Then what do they see next after the questionnaire?
They see the symptoms view, so they can select which symptoms.
So then they have to like diagnose themselves.
Exactly.
Like these are the ones I actually like. I have a problem. These are the problems I'm experiencing. And so in their mind, do they think they're getting a custom plan built for them essentially?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so then once they have that answered, you show them social proof. So you show them reviews of basically other people saying this worked for me, this was super helpful, and that makes them be like, okay, this is like a real product and it's worked for other people, it'll work for me.
And every subsequent page, every tap they do, like drives a higher intent for them to actually buy.
Of course.
Because if you just throw them a paywall in the beginning, they can easily uninstall the app. No one wants to spend money on things they don't have to. But if they design their plan for them, of course they're going to pay.
We're also making the app much more customizable as more updates come.
Yeah.
Is this AI enabled?
Yeah.
Okay. So once they see the social proof of the reviews, you say you asked them for a review?
Yeah, we do that.
Why would they give you a review before they've even used the product?
Good point. Most people don't, but there are a select few people that just click 5 stars and go to the next page super fast. And that adds up over time.
Do they have to actually write words, or is it just 5 stars?
No, you can just click 5 stars.
Gotcha. But you showed them other people's reviews first?
Yeah.
So they saw reviews, and then you asked for a review. Then what happens?
And then we hit them with a paywall. We give them like a special
Then the
card.
paywall.
Yeah, right. We give them a special card saying, look, we've built your plan. This is your card. Congrats on coming this far. Now it's time to invest in yourself.
So it feels like you've made something for them.
Right.
Exactly.
And then you encourage them to invest in themselves. Very important language. Then you actually ask them to pay.
Exactly.
And you've not a
Correct.
single time explained what the actual app looks like or what's inside or how it works.
Through distribution methods and App Store screenshots,
ads.
they'll see what the app looks
Through
like.
ads,
But through
or organic content.
influencers posting, organic UGC ads, etc. Anything we're pushing shows the app a lot of the times.
So the marketing strategy is more product education, demos. They see it work. They get recommended it by someone that they follow. Basically.
And then, but if they're on strictly onboarding or App Store organic, right? They look up how do I quit porn on App Store and we pop up. They won't see features through the
Gotcha.
onboarding.
That makes sense. You always want to sell the outcome, the end state, not the actual features themselves. It's not important. Yes, exactly. Okay, so then that's so important because they have intent, they have the emotional connection, they made the decision themselves, and they've seen that it's worked for other people for like key psychology principles. Then they pay. What happens?
Then we take away the hard paywall. They get jumped into the app. They can start their streak from day one. So look, the timer is ticking up, saying, look, you've been sober for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. They get like a little special badge every time they reach a new milestone. We have a to-do list, so they can journal why they want to quit, make a post in the community, and start getting, building some habits on the app.
So it's a community.
Pretty much, yeah.
In and of itself, so they can all talk to each other.
Exactly.
And that's where I was talking about the walls being broken down of actually communicating with your issues and getting help from each other.
Are you anonymous, or is it your real name, or is it your choice?
First, your choice on names and your choice on age.
But they can just list whatever. Like obviously you're not like KYCing them, obviously. Okay. So whatever name. They could do the real name. They could probably, or some people are anonymous, I would assume. Okay. So that's very interesting. You said they get a list? That was the first thing? A to-do list?
Yeah, they get a to-do list. So we just want to build retention, so we get them using different features on the app so they understand.
Is it a to-do list that feels like an onboarding, like you have to do these to get set up? Or is it like these are the set tasks you need to do to achieve the
Here's
goal?
what we recommend.
It's like a checklist.
Yes, it's what you
in order to get
recommend.
ready.
Okay, and then you said this word streak. Explain the concept of a streak.
So it's just how long you've been sober for. And people feel motivated by that. Like the higher your streak, the less likely you're going to relapse.
So what are it's streak? So how long, how many days in a row, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
How many days in a row? Do you have to like log into the app and then like hit like
No.
second day, or you just write it? Or like
Does
how
it for you, and then if you relapse, you just click relapse and it resets the counter.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you encourage people to be honest with themselves and actually hit relapse when they've relapsed?
I mean,
is
we
this-
can't.
How do you educate them?
Like, that's kind of on them. Like, we
Yeah.
can't encourage everyone to quit porn. They've got to have that mental, like, want to change. If they can't do it, then the product's not for them.
Okay, so step one is a streak. Pay attention to your streak. Try to keep this as long as you can so you can stay on top of how good you're doing.
We say 90 days is like the breakthrough point where you...
So you
Conquer
set a goal or like
Right.
a goal post. Like
Right.
we're trying to go for 90 days to see if you can do it. Every day you log into this app adds to your streak. They have to log in for the
Exactly.
streak or it just counts?
No, it just
Okay.
counts.
Okay, great. Then what's the next one?
Well, we've got the community.
Okay.
We have also we have a recovery page, so it's like the longer your streak is, there's like a progress bar. So look, you got better sleep, you're thinking healthier thoughts, you got more energy, and those tick up as your streak increases. All these things increase their chances of becoming.
Is that actually tracked, or is that just like a high level? Like if you go a week without this, you're gonna have more energy?
Yeah, it's high level for now.
Yeah.
We do want to make it study based in the future, but we don't really need to right now.
No, it makes sense conceptually. Okay, so that you're trying to grow your streak. You have a community to talk to other people. Are you encouraging them to like introduce themselves? Is there like how are they actually like engaging in the community?
A lot of people just post what they want. So they're like, oh, I'm really tempted. Someone help me. And there's loads of people in the comments saying, look, don't do it. Like, you're better than this. Remember all these lessons you learned last time, etc.
So it's like if you feel an urge,
Exactly.
like you go in there to like talk
And that's
to
also
people.
why the panic button, after you do the panic button will push you to the community or journaling as well.
Okay, so when they join, are they like presented with like here's like how to like here's the system to quitting? Like, is there like a one pager that they're reading and then introducing these tools, or is it just like a page of tools?
It's a page tool.
Page of tools.
Okay, and they just like will click in like, okay, what's this tool? What's this tool?
Yeah,
What's this
exactly.
tool? Gotcha.
Exactly.
How many tools are there?
There's at least 20.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so panic button.
And we've also got a plant. So like if you can click plant your seed, and then as your streak increases, it grows from a little sapling into a tree.
Oh, interesting.
And then people feel more like
visual progress.
Right, exactly. They don't want to cut the tree down. They want to keep it growing. So they keep watering it.
So you're trying to build all these little like emotional connections to this thing.
It's all mental,
Correct.
yeah.
And then it's compounding. They'll lose something if they do this.
Exactly.
So there's like external
Accountability,
yeah, like external accountability, basically. Okay, great, thank you.
One of our more viral features is like Melius, which is like an AI.
Is what?
Is a AI therapist. So
You
I'm
talk
not sure
to
how
it?
it goes with. I'm not sure how it goes with the back end, but you speak to Melius and it gives you advice. And if there's no one in the community that can help you, you can speak to Melius and it gives you like one-to-one advice.
So it's like your AI agent that people can just talk to, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like 24/7 therapist you can speak to.
Interesting.
It knows everything about NoFap. Knows all the symptoms.
How did you figure out what tools to include?
I think a lot of it was studying the competition. They gave us a lot of inspiration and head start. We don't really need to reinvent the wheel. I don't think anyone does. And then just things that we thought would be useful. That's kind of like we just go with our gut instincts. And we also listen to the community. We have like a little program where if you give us a good feature that we eventually implement, we'll give you like $100. And that's like
interesting.
It's helping the flywheel grow pretty much.
Yeah, it's like a streamlined information with like a dopamine fueled experience /
Exactly.
you're building something so you don't want to lose it, and then accountability from the group and an AI person to talk
I would
to.
say we also, whenever someone deletes the app or cancels, we ask them what they would want changed. And basically, we've set up a system where we just have this feed of feedback that we can actually implement.
Is it viewed positively? Like, do you have like some sort of like congratulations, you just canceled? Like, is that like is that a thing where it's like you've quit, like you've done it? Like
We don't yet.
Okay, but like that's like
We don't know if they're deleting because they quit or if they're deleting because they don't like the
relapse.
app.
Yeah.
I think NoFap and that whole journey is like a lifelong game though.
For sure.
Because it takes one slip up to fall back in the cycle.
The panic button is interesting. So you're just like trying to like habituate yourself that if you feel this vibration, like snaps you out of this like trance.
Exactly.
It's
like wake up.
Yeah.
Don't let your mind
It's like a
control
meditative
you.
state in a sense of like
like
your boy being like, what are you doing, man? Come on, let's stop.
Like if you set an alarm every day at 1 p.m. and you heard that sound, you would immediately hear that sound like start behaving a certain way even without hearing it a month later. That's so smart. Are there any other like cool tools like that you want to that like would be interesting to hear about?
We have like a full page of resources, so a bunch of articles like break down everything about what porn addiction is, like all the psychology behind it. And as you understand and read through it, you kind of just disassociate from that feeling and are able to overcome it.
Become aware that it's actually even a
Right.
thing. Like I feel like most people don't even realize they're addicted or that being addicted to this thing is even possible. They think they're just like watching content that's fun to watch or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So
but
it's
then
like
when we show them how it's affecting them, they start to realize and break free from that.
I do show pictures of brain activity that are like really like heat mapped at big and then
We
some
don't.
really small.
No.
We actually have done some marketing promos
We've
like
done that on Twitter.
Yeah, for marketing.
It's like 5 reasons how porn affecting your brain, and then at the bottom it's like download Quit if you want
It's like
to
this
quit.
person's without porn, this person's with porn.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah,
And it's a thread.
That seems like a no-brainer. Interesting, bro. Okay, so then is there any sort of like, there's 2 more questions I have on the product. Are there any sort of like viral growth mechanics for the app to grow natively, for like product-led growth? Like sharing this to a friend, I feel like that's not a very big advantage you might have.
We don't have that advantage at all. We had it in the beginning where it was like refer a friend, you get $5, and we had a few downloads from that, but I just don't think you're going to share this product with your friends.
Yeah, it's not
and be like,
lit.
look, here's how you quit porn.
It's the reason why it works as well is because people aren't sharing it, but they need to get it solved.
Yeah.
It's like a very personal experience. So there really is no organic growth as far as like just people sharing the app natively or...
Exactly. I mean, if you type any keywords on how to quit in the App Store, we will come up. So I guess that's our only organic pool.
Yeah.
I think we're number 1 on quit porn.
Yeah.
On the App
That
Store.
makes sense. I totally get that. Okay, cool. And then is there any sort of like cancellation, like downsell or like stop, don't cancel? Like, why are you doing this to yourself? I was thinking it's like a congratulation or like a guilt, or is it like
we collect feedback on why they want to leave us, and that's it.
just like fill in this answer and then hit cancel?
Right, exactly.
Okay,
There you go.
fair enough. That's nice. I always hate when people make me do stuff.
Yeah.
Cancel. But there is something to do there probably.
True.
Like, do you not put any language like?
You know what?
Why are you doing this?
My focus the last few
Why are you
days has
doing
been like
this?
Duolingo's guilt tripping messages.
Mhm.
Do you remember those notifications where it's like you let little wampus down?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's like a Tamagotchi.
Exactly. I was thinking, so pretty much like 15% of people that download the app convert. So 85% of people that download don't convert. So imagine we send streamlined emails following up saying, look, you're letting yourself down. This mascot's really sad that you're not buying a subscription, blah, blah, blah. And eventually the bottom line will get cleaned up.
Yeah,
By the guilt tripping.
you'd want to ask why they're quitting, and just 2 answers: I'm addiction free,
Yeah.
or like whatever. I'm gonna
fucked.
try this again later. Yeah,
much.
something like that. And then you get
I'll
different
be
emails.
back.
Yeah, I'll be back would be a good one.
Another thing on the
Maybe
flip
next
side
year.
of this, we tend to get the question of why we're not freemium as well, because we're a hard paywall. And I think it's important to note the fact that we did try that, but the activity on the app dropped significantly. No one used the app when it was free. Everyone used it when it was a hard paywall. And so it goes into that whole onboarding scene and scenario of intent to buy.
100%.
And I think half the battle is when they purchase, they're like, all right, I'm doing this to quit. And then that's why they quit.
Yeah, there's undeniable data that if you pay for something, you value it more. And so I don't think that would make sense at all. It's like if I can just access it anytime, it's like whatever.
The amount of questions we get, why isn't it free? Why isn't it free? Why isn't it free? Why don't you do freemium?
It's like the commitment that you feel when you pay. Like you feel that loss of
Right.
the money leaving your account, and so you feel committed.
So why
now.
would you let
Exactly.
yourself and your money down?
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, it's funny because with a hard paywall and people are saying more committed to themselves, they're going to rate our app higher because it's finally working. But actually, it was just their mentality.
It's an undeniable like there's so many studies that prove that psychology too. So that's the correct answer, correct way to do it. I think it's so weird that people are like that on social media. Okay, so the product makes sense to me. She's all these different sets of tools, different habits, different like emotional building, accountability with the community, seeing this tree grow. You don't want to lose that. It's like these little like subjective things that people just need to compound and do every single day to be in that mindset and to snap themselves out of it when they feel tempted. That makes a lot of sense. And it seems like it's a booming market to come into, huge market. Almost every person probably needs this in our generation for sure. And so TAM's only growing, big problem, human need. It's A+ product choice, I feel like, right there from a business perspective. Also from a morality perspective, it's a good thing for the world.
Yeah.
So round of applause
Thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you.
What makes, like, give me like 5-minute rant on onboarding flows.
Okay.
Like how you think about it.
So my belief is, right, you can have the best app in the world, the best branding in the world, but if you don't have a good onboarding flow, then you're just wasting your money. It's not as easy as just throwing cash at an influencer and then making a video on you to be successful. If you haven't prepped the user before you ask them to pay, it's not going to work. So there's a fine line between having fatiguing onboarding flows to the point where they just leave and give up, and also having a high enough intent where they stay and like, okay, I'm going to pay. I've come this far, I'm going to pay. It's the same analogy with gamblers. They're not chasing a loss necessarily. They're chasing something back for all the time they spent in the casino. It's the same way, right? So what I usually say to people is look at our onboarding and just revamp it towards your niche because we've perfected it. I mean, you've seen my mix panel. That you can't really get much better than that.
It's only 99s across the
Yeah,
board.
literally. So, yeah, there's a fine line. If we had no onboarding, I doubt we would have this high of a conversion rate in our paywall.
We wouldn't. I
think it'll be
it's a
like
doubt.
2%.
Like the answer would be no. Like I think, yeah, sure, we got distribution. I'm bringing users to the platform, but how are they gonna? They're not gonna pay if they don't know what they're doing.
I think it's the single most important thing in consumer apps.
And I think a bigger thing too is thinking about like landing pages, right? VSLs. When people, even in the course industry, right? They have the VSL on the landing page. They throw you through this thing. It's basically the same thing for. We're just applying the same concepts.
It's all psychology.
Right,
Yeah.
Grant Cardone does the same thing. All these people that have you go through these landing pages of quizzes and this and that, they're basically prepping you to be like, all right, I need this product. You to realize I need it. You're telling them why you need it.
You're just instilling ideas in their brain.
Yeah, like an internal commitment. And then
Exactly.
just act on it.
This is a fun thought. If we removed our onboarding and also removed like our hard paywall, we wouldn't have had 99% of the revenue we have today. But because of those two things, a hard paywall and a long onboarding, that's the reason we.
So if it was just straight to a freemium product, put your email, make your account, and then just try the product out and then maybe you can pay for it after
We
14 days.
We would maybe have 10K a month in revenue.
So it's literally the art is in the onboarding. I recommend everyone to go through their onboarding right now and just do it while I'm talking. But it's going through the onboarding, asking those questions, showing the social proof, diagnosing yourself, showing the actual reviews, asking for a review, then saying make a commitment for yourself. So framing the money as like an investment in yourself. It's all about the language that's being used in there.
But yeah, again, like honestly, if you're getting into consumer apps and you're hitting people with a hard paywall, if your onboarding isn't optimized, you're not going to make much money.
The hard paywall basically is a longer version of the question is, why do you want this product? Why are you here? We're on a sales call. Why are you here? I'm no longer selling you. I'm asking you, like, why are you here?
And I'm trying to get them to answer it.
And then they're going to tell you for themselves why they need your product, and then the sell is easy.
It's like a sales call script in general.
That's what it is.
You just ask questions.
That's why I'm saying like, all this stuff is from the same principles of sales and like we call it onboarding in the mobile app space, but it's called funnels and landing pages
and
anywhere
info.
else.
Yeah. So interesting. Are there like principles? Like are there like I guess the best word is principles for onboarding. Like you're like trying to check the box. Like okay, now we need the social proof. Now we need the like what are they that
asking for a review early? That's one of them. Social proof. Explaining what the app does and explaining the problem
outcome.
it's solving. The outcome, that's the most important part.
Very simple.
And just keeping it long, because you want to filter out all those people that aren't serious, and those that are serious will stick to the end and eventually pay. If you have it too short, as I said, like you're going to fail.
Interesting. Did you have it, like, did you just know onboarding was good right the first time you did it, or has this been an iterative process that you sent more traffic? Like, how did you get to this point where it's like 99% across the board?
I think in the early days, we just studied the top apps that were making the most money. And what we did is we screenshot every little bit of experience, put it all in a Figma, line it all up and be like, okay, look, all these apps are doing this. They're making 5 million, 6 million. What if we ripped that strategy and just applied it to our niche? And that's exactly what we did. And we just realized it converted very well.
So just did the research then, but still thought creatively about how it applied uniquely to your product.
That's a good principle.
Interesting.
If it works, it works.
I'm a marketer. I love talking about marketing. I'm very curious how you guys have got this into the world. Because 4 months to $250,000 in revenue. It's pretty nuts. 17, 19, and 22. Yeah. Even crazier. So
$250,000 this month, by the way.
Yeah. $250,000 this month in a single month.
We also did, a video went viral and we did 40K in a day, and across like a 65-hour period, we did 100K in sales.
Can I see that video?
Yeah, we'll show it.
Here.
I would love to see it. Can I show it on screen?
Yeah, you can show it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 9.9 million views. Funny story, I was sleeping and they're 5 hours ahead, and I get woken up at 6 a.m. and I was like, I don't give a shit that you're tired. Like, wake up, check your Telegram. Like,
how many followers does he have?
Like 2 million.
How much did he charge?
Just got 1.8 million.
How much is the retainer? Can I ask?
We're paying $3 per 1,000 views,
So
and he's
CPM?
giving us 1 million views a month guaranteed, but we pay bonuses on top of that.
So do you do a flat retainer at all? Like $500 a month plus $3 per 1,000 views?
No, I just base the retainer off of a $2 to $3 CPM, depending on how good they are. And so if they're, I don't know how well they're going to convert, I'll do 2, and maybe they want like 2.5. But I tell them, hey, we're going to pay you, let's say, $2,000 for 1.5 million views or 1 million.
And that's
views.
it, just straight up performance.
And they could be like, oh, I like that, I don't like that.
Gotcha.
Jeremiah specifically, we're paying $3 per 1,000 views, so we're getting 1 million views. But on top of that, like, we're paying him a hefty bonus.
What's the bonus?
Right now we pay a couple $100 for $1 million views, but we're paying him.
Is like, but just tiered on views. You don't have to tell me the number.
Tiered on views, but for this, we didn't even think this would happen. So I'm just throwing him a couple grand. I'm like, here's
okay,
$3 to $5 grand. Thank you.
Interesting.
And then we're gonna bump up his retainer next month.
Interesting. This is the marketing strategy for why I joined WAP and what we're building into the product. So I would love to talk.
We can chat.
I would love to talk.
This
to
is
you.
what I find fun. This is like.
This whole CPM based, performance based pay is like going to be massive. So very curious on how we can build it better for you. But this is something you're building with like multiple different creators.
We have, so initially the strategy was, and I think going back to like ground zero. So took $3,000 and I was like, it's influencers. That was the thesis I built. And so I was like, Alex, trust. There's a point, which we'll get into this as well. Alex was doing Reddit marketing and Twitter marketing, and for some reason he'd go viral on Twitter and Reddit, and he'd be like, what the hell are you doing, man? I'm doing all the marketing, getting all the sales. Like, what are you doing with your time? I'm like, trust. And so basically I'd find creators in the religious and fitness niche. Fitness was more like, think trickle down Andrew Tate, like very self-help, aggro. Like, he's Mr. 3 a.m. He's like, go out 3 a.m. grind. And so we targeted those, and I paid like $50 to do a one-on-one consulting call with a religious creator.
Smart.
And I pitched him, and he's like, all right, let's do it. And then that was our first $1,000 day. And then it slowly built from that. But the strategy on how we turned $3,000 into, I would say, like around 40 was because I would basically only pay 20% up front. And the rest of the money would come after the contract was over and after we got paid by Apple. So I just like convinced them to be like, all right, money's coming from Apple, we'll pay you then.
How is the contract 20% up front if you don't know how many views they're going to get? Are you choosing their average?
No, we do a view guarantee. We're like, on average, if you post a video about this, you get 250,000 views. So that one video posted on Instagram and TikTok is 500,000 views.
Okay.
So for 4 videos, right, that's 2 million views. We'll pay you $4,000, 20% up front. It was mainly around 500,000 views.
So you're still choosing the CPM based stuff.
The CPM is how we pitch the retainer. We're not telling them it's $3 per 1,000 views.
Oh, that's just an internal thing.
That's just an internal. So I know I'm like, okay, I can get Brett to get me 500,000 views. I'm willing to pay him at most $1,500. I'm going to pitch you $1,000 for 500,000 views. You're like, I don't know. All right, how's $1,250?
So you're just deciding we'll pay an influencer $2 to $3 CPM, and then you just go do. They have 100,000 on average, so I'm going to give them $200. That makes sense.
If they can get me 100,000 views per month, it's $300.
Yes.
But what you'll find is no creator's going to do that because they all have an ego. So you have to find people that can get you at least 500,000 to 1 million views a month for 4 videos. It's
for 4 videos.
Cumulative.
Why is it 4 videos?
I just found that's what works.
It's just like that probably had a little.
And
there's a little bit of effort to that.
It makes sense also on like why we would pay them.
Gotcha. No offense to that guy. I'm just surprised. Is he like making content similar to this? Like, just very.
He makes content for a lot of apps. I mean, it's also he posts like 5-6 times a day.
Are fitness people like looking to take their shirts off or something? Because like that's like a very vulnerable. He's like in his underwear in his bed.
I think it's also a lot of guys that have conquered porn addiction want to help the younger people, and that's what we've realized. A lot of them are like, I'm porn free. I want to help the next guy, and so if I'm willing to make relatable content to help them quit, boom.
Is there any sort of affiliate model for them?
We're working on that. We've done we'll pay you X dollars per 1,000 views, like a $2 CPM. But the issue is with Apple, the attribution to find out where the money came in from, you can't know. You can kind of like figure it out back of a napkin. Okay, like we made this much from this post, but we can't guarantee that like Brett brought in $100,000.
Yeah, most people are going to just go search the app organically just open the app store.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Interesting. And so you just like tackled different niches. This is so smart. It's like showing the emotional pain point someone in the state of your target demographic, and then to fix it, they just are demoing the app.
Right.
It's not like, hey, if you guys have a porn addiction, go to Quitter. It's like acting, like showing the experience.
There's that, but then there's also hitting pain points. So the religious creator would be like, the devil's coming after you, commit the lust, etc. Here are top 3 ways to quit. And then the second thing would be use tools. Here's a tool that I like to use called Quitter. He's like, I track my streak on it, etc.
Gotcha.
And so with religion, it's against God.
Yeah.
Fitness is low testosterone, no gains, etc. Self-help is like semen retention. So it's what's the value of quitting porn? It's not that you stop jerking off. It's that you have higher energy, you talk to girls, you know how to talk to women, you can actually find a wife and stop like jerking off to OnlyFans. That's the value you're getting.
Interesting.
Not just the action stopping. The value is on the back end of like you actually become a man instead of being a little boy.
Yeah.
But you know how to speak to each target demographic and what they value, like their value system almost.
Exactly.
That's so smart.
So we get to play around with so many different creators and so many different niches.
And now we're working on targeting larger creators to get them the post, to not have a huge influencer team because it's very hard to track, to know ROI. And then we're basically in the contract allowing to run their stuff as ads for as long as our contract's with them. So it's piggybacking.
Have you? So what we're doing is we're creating these. I call it view rewards, where you pay people based off every 1,000 views they get retroactively. So like if you say, hey, I'll pay you $3.50 for every 1,000 views you get, post a video, then submit your video once it has 200,000 views. Have you ever tried that?
Is that for influencers or organic creators like TikTok shop creators?
Anybody, but definitely more like UGC style.
So I think UGC style that works.
Influencers,
but influencers like they have agents and they have this and they have that, and they're like a lot of it is, do they resonate with the brand? Does it resonate with their content? So that's why also like in the sourcing influencers, I know who I'm going to talk to and who I'm not going to talk to because I'm like, this is a waste of time.
Gotcha. How many influencers were on retainer, and how many videos went out to hit 250K in a month?
This month we probably have 5 or 6. But I also think what happened was we had 2 or 3 to do 100K in our first 90 days. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't a lot. It was like 3 to 4. And then we started leveraging paid ads, using that stuff as paid ads. So this month wasn't just influencers. It was a combination of paid ads and influencers and also going viral.
So you start with you start with organic influencers.
I think influencers is the way you can bootstrap, get gritty, get off the ground. Mm-hmm. And then the next step is paid ads and then organic. It could be organic or influencer. We have friends that do a couple $100,000 a month off of just organic. It just depends on what you want to do.
So the organic is like test some messaging, test some demographics, find something that works. Do they let you use their videos as ads?
Yeah, we have it in the contract.
Usage rights though?
Yep.
Okay.
Some of them want more money. There's a premium pay for that on some creators.
Interesting.
It's generally worth it.
What are the ads? Like, is it just those videos, or are you making different types?
Yeah, we ripped that video as an ad, and it's probably our lowest.
Your best performing ad?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm like, it's really simple for me to understand. It's so straightforward. It's like it's logical when you get through it, when you're doing it. But like,
there's so many. Like I have friends that'll text me like, "Hey, like I don't mind helping some friends that we came up with like in the app game when we were failing, but like there's so many nitty gritty questions. And I'm like, just try it, just test it. I don't know what this influencer's gonna say. Just send the email and see if they'll take the deal. Worst case, they say no.
And what's your intro message? What's your first outreach message? Because I think that's really smart to pay people. Like, I think a lot of people overlook the fact that you can just reach out like, hey, can I pay you for an hour of your time to get your foot in the door if it's like worth it? And then
that was just me thinking like, what's the best way to reach someone, right? So you have social media channels. Assume someone has 200K followers. Mm-hmm. You can DM them on Instagram and TikTok. Odds are not going to respond, right? It's a low chance they're going to respond. They might. Or they could have in their bio consulting call, right? 30, 40, 50 bucks, 100 bucks. Or they could have an email. So what I usually do is DM. At the bat, I DM'd everyone just to have that out there. If they had a paid consulting call that was not like 500 bucks, I did it. Some, I probably wasted 150 bucks on some. They're like, I don't know. I don't like this. You guys are too young, whatever, just starting. And then email. And then it's just a number game. It's volume. You're not going to, the first 100 people probably won't respond. And now we've set up a team of virtual assistants out in Pakistan. Shout out Omar, who he basically runs through all the DMs. I basically got him privy on our strategy of finding creators who we want to work with, etc. And then we just hit him with a paid promo. Work Quitter, we help you quit porn. We have 100,000 plus users, X, Y, and Z. If you're interested in working, simply reply or send us your number.
Yeah, I think the paid promo part in the beginning is really important because when you see a message request, like the first line means the most. You're not going to click on every single one. If you see paid promo, no one's going to leave money on the table. They're going to click on it.
So the first word in your outreach message is paid promo. For your.
And on top of that, we run it through our Quitter account. And Alex was very heavy on that at the beginning. I didn't realize this, but if you have a verified account, it bumps it in the inbox.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but that's been super helpful.
That's good to know. We should be doing that from our WAP account. Wow, we're doing it from our employees account. Thank you. Instantly going to change that. Helpful. Okay, so first line is from your main brand account that's verified. First line is paid promo for this person. We're this app. This is what we help you do. Social proof of 100,000 users, so it's not some scam.
It's more just like you said, paid promo. They see, I can get paid with this. Second thing is who we are, social proof, respond. Keep it short and sweet. I'm not here to convince you to work with us.
Do you tell them how much you're going to pay them right away?
No. Or? So I never tell them how much I'm willing to pay them via text.
Okay.
I always do it via call because the moment I say 4 videos a month, this and that, they run away. But if I'm on a call, man, it's close. It's close central.
So you're just trying to get them on a call.
We're closing everyone.
Because if you do it over messages, you give them a lot of space to like think about it and negotiate. Whereas if you get on a call, like they're very in the moment, it's very easy to say yes.
Interesting.
And if you give them too much space, they're not going to.
That's when I realized I was like I had a knack for sales. I was like, this is fun. Like I can just get people on. Like it's pretty easy. Like, hey, like I don't know if I feel about this. And it's like, well, do you like really want to help people? How much do you post? We can make this work. I don't know about the view guarantee. Well, on average, you get this many views. We've never had someone not have the view guarantee. Worst case, you post another post. It's like no harm, no foul.
It's a good pitch.
Dude, it's fun.
I can see the joy in your face. It's a game, bro.
I think it's also part of it is they know they're helping people.
It's an opportunity.
They're helping people. Like it's not like we're an app. I don't know. It's not like we're OnlyFans calling influencers to create content to like
and
make
extract
people
value from their audience.
Yeah.
Like it is a pitch of like you will help the people that are struggling with this in your audience.
And it's like think about when you were young and a kid in middle school or high school. Kids are doing it even younger now because
middle school, bro. We had iPod touches and everybody in middle school unconsensually I would just get shown at lunch.
I'm terrified for my cousin, man. He's young and I'm like they had phones now in like 5th grade. There's OnlyFans. They don't realize the algorithm's targeting them.
It's weaponized against them, bro, for profit.
Brain rot, rewiring.
Brain rot. That's a big word around here. So can someone please invent a crystal ball? Until then, over 40,000 businesses have future-proofed their business with NetSuite by Oracle. With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth, giving you the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions. With real-time insights and forecasting, you're peering into the future with actionable data. When you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you're spending less time looking backwards and more time on what's next. If I needed this product, it's what I'd use. Speaking of opportunity, download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/WGMI. This guide is free to you at netsuite.com/WGMI. netsuite.com/WGMI. Thank you for sponsoring today's episode. I'm very surprised that only 5 or 6 influencers got you to 6 figures.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like we're just starting. Like
we are just starting.
We've come a long way considering how many pieces aren't super refined yet.
Yeah, 4 months in.
There's a lot of noise that came in the door as well. Like in the beginning, when we hit our first 30K a month, people try to come in, take equity, things like that. We had no agreement for the first probably 45 days between us. Alex was like, well, if you're putting your money, like I remember Alex was like, hey, if you're putting $3,000 into this, what happens if it doesn't work out between us? I was like, dude, just pay me back in the future. I don't care. I'm here to build a relationship and something awesome. Like it is what it is.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, we had a bunch of people come in. Like, I mean, it wasn't like all sunshine and rainbows. Like people see the Twitter and they're like, oh my God, you do this much. Like it's so easy, this and that. But like it wasn't easy.
How hands-on are you with the influencers on the type of video they make?
So now I usually have them send me a draft. We require them to show the app in every video. There's certain requirements on like the caption of the video and things of that nature of like just the bio of the video. But when it comes down to it, if I really don't like it, I'll say something. Also, it depends. Like some creators won't do the view guarantee, but we're paying them like $8,000 a month because of who they are. And we know we can run it as ads and it'll work, but I need to make sure the video is a certain way to get views and convert. So I'm very hands-on with those.
So the view guarantee meaning I'll pay you $1,500 if you get what is it?
No, I'll pay you. It's like,
views?
Hey Brett, look, you usually get 100,000 views a video. And what we'll do is you give me 4 videos a month minimum for 500,000 views minimum per month. And I'll
Combined.
pay you
So
$1,500.
you have to hit 500,000 views.
And
with
you
4
have
videos.
to post 4 videos. So if you hit 10 million views your first video, you still owe us 3 more videos.
Okay, so let's say you were paying me $1,000. You give me $200 today.
Yep.
And then I'd get $800 once I posted those 4 and hit those views.
Yep. And if you didn't hit the views, you post again.
One more?
Until you hit the views.
Oh, you keep posting. You have to hit it.
And then I say in the contract, if it comes to a point of you can't hit the views, we'll prorate your contract.
Okay, so we'll give you 700 out of 1,000.
Yeah.
Because you have 700,000 views or whatever.
And we also encourage them to post on TikTok as well, so multi-channel.
Gotcha. But still 4 videos posted across platform, not 4 posts?
It's 4 videos, 8 posts technically.
Interesting. And then you just are allowed to use those as ads whenever you want. It's in the contract. Usage rights.
Yep. I think a big thing is, like you said, playing into ego and also checking ego. Because a lot of them, like for example, if you guarantee, a lot of them are like, I don't know, man. And I'm like, look, it's your job to make videos and get views. I am basing this contract off of what you get on average. So if you don't get this on average, why am I paying you? And it's our job to convert the users to keep paying you.
Gotcha.
And that's where the product comes in, right? Like I feel like we pay like pretty, I don't know, it's pretty expensive, but we can do that because the onboarding that they designed and developed and built and the product works.
Interesting. Absolutely.
There ain't no yin without yang.
Yeah, facts. So I'm curious, you said you were marketing on Twitter.
In the beginning.
So is it just Instagram and TikTok right now?
We have some Twitter stuff going out. I think right now it's just we had so much going on. I was like, it's too noisy. Let's scale back. Let's figure out where we're putting money, what we're the return we're getting on our money. And so now I'm just building out, making sure that, okay, does this have an ROI, yes or no? Does this influencer have an ROI, yes or no? Get rid of them, get the next guy. So we're building basically right now a lead list of warm leads of influencers, being like, hey, I'll work with you next month. I don't know if it'll be next month or the month after, but point being is we'll bring them in if someone else falls off. So we can control that, Twitter something, work on new strategies there, and then organic, paid ads, and then eventually just larger partnerships like Theo Vaughn.
Cool. Just like ad reads in his podcast or something?
Yep. Like George Janko. Like
Male podcast, yeah. Okay.
Hopefully Andrew Tate maybe someday partner with Discord. That'd be huge.
Sense. That makes sense. It seems like you have a lot of surface area to go. So there's no.
Yeah, like Alex said, we're in the beginning. This is like
sure.
We're scratching the surface of what could possibly be.
So cool, man. That's so exciting. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say start another business or anything, but like, do you feel like there's like this could work if you were to start, if you had to like shut this app down and you had to make a new one? Would you just do the exact same steps?
This would work.
Like it's a very replicable thing.
It's super easy. A lot of people overcomplicate it, but it's just really easy. I mean, the way I wrote a tweet on this once and it went viral. It was like, okay, we pay X creator, they get Y views, that generates Z downloads, generates A revenue. We reinvest A revenue into more B distribution, and that whole cycle repeats itself.
Interesting. How many followers do you have on Twitter?
Like 8,000 now.
How many do you have? Like, I reached out to you like a month and a half ago. I think I'll see if anyone ever DMs me, I'll see it. And I literally just found you organically on Twitter when you had like 2,000 followers, and then I watched the one YouTube video you have, and I'm like, I like this kid, and I'm gonna invite him on the pod.
Which one did you watch?
You were like outside of a house.
Was it Bali?
Oh no, it wasn't the Bali vlog. It was.
You were like outside. You were almost like crying. You were like so
oh
excited.
yeah. Oh yeah, this is a funny story actually. So up to August 2024, I was dead broke, literally no money to my name. Me and Zach. So Zach was on your podcast. Everyone who's probably watching this saw that Zach podcast as well. We bumped into each other in Miami because we both snuck into a hotel, and and he was making like 1K a month at the time. I was making 0. I was super fascinated. Like, what? You're making $1,000 a month through software? Like, that's insane. And then he got into apps. I followed that journey, and I went from dead broke to $250K in a month in about a year. And look at Zach now; he's doing like 1.5 million a month. So that random event in Miami, bumping into him at a hotel, like that was such a massive moment for the space. Honestly,
it's so interesting, bro. I found you independently from him too, which is crazy. But it's just so like, do you have like other friends that are the same age?
Yeah, I think the Build Space event I went to, people I met at that event are also now making waves in this space.
Is it the same strategy, just like the
pretty
same?
Much, yeah.
Pretty much like just consumer apps, and then I mean, there's so many distribution angles. Like people can do faceless content carousels. Influencers won't always work for every product. Like the ed tech space, right? Funny's in like doing AI writing tools and stuff. There's not really influencers you can hire for that. Yeah. But they all just rip each other's organic content, post the same style with their own organic creators, and they all go viral again, and they make like 50 cents per download or per paid user. And I'm like, that's great. Like their margins are so slim.
It's getting really refined though. I see what you're saying. Huh.
There's a lot you can do. I think there's a lot of space to do. I just think there's no one size fits all. Like someone might watch and be like, oh my God, I do influencers. It's like evaluate, are there influencers in your niche that will work? Yes or no, look at the other strategy, test them all, and then hammer down what works.
Is there a clear pain point? Is there a value system you could speak to? That's just marketing though, like how to talk to people, copywriting. So I'm curious what tools you guys use to build all this. Like first off, we'll start with product. I have a ton of design questions. I will get to design, I promise. But what tools did you use to actually, like, did you code it with Swift or what?
Yeah, so pretty much Swift, ChatGPT, Firebase, the real simple.
What is Firebase?
Stuff. So it's a database. So you can store, like all the community features are stored.
What are you using ChatGPT for?
Just to help me build features that I haven't learned myself.
To code, basically?
So if I'm like for instance, the whole community feature, I just asked ChatGPT to code it for me.
And it coded your app? Like
a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it, yeah.
Are you like a trained programmer?
Yeah.
Like how long have you been developing?
I think I've been coding for about 2-3 years now. And my first project was rebuilding Twitter from scratch with Swift UI.
So you just use Swift, ChatGPT to help you, and then Firebase.
Yeah.
Is there, and you're a designer, Figma, I assume?
Exactly.
Anything else?
Literally just Figma.
Nice.
So I give Alex the designs, and he literally just creates it.
How'd you do those animations that are like is that just a video?
The animations?
Follow the ball to breathe with the ball?
No, that's code. Okay,
so what other... I saw that onboarding screenshot was Mixpanel, so all of your like data to see like onboarding metrics, where people fall off using Mixpanel.
Yep.
Yeah? Any other tools that you're using?
SQL.
Superwall.
Superwall we use for paywalls, so we can A/B test on the fly and test different pricing, different designs, and then also monitor the results.
So Superwall,
yeah.
And that's in the app, like integrated into the App Store. Yeah, it's like a plugin or something.
It's a package.
It's a separate entity, but you put it into
it's a package in Swift
that
you just put into the app, and then in real time you can update it.
The one thing that's cool is Superwall actually took my paywall and used it as a template on their website.
Nice.
So anyone who like has an app of their own can literally go on the website.
Use a template.
Did they ask permission for that?
No.
I don't think they have
They just stole our paywall because it's so high converting.
So you designed it with their tool?
They've got like a internal like design,
like a la carte custom build.
And then you just made a really good custom build, and they're like,
template it.
Using some assets from Adobe, I just bring it on,
Yeah.
and now they're just using it. So it's
That's a
pretty cool.
compliment, bro. Hell yeah.
So
I'd say on the distribution side of things, so I mean, Scrappy built a system with VAs on the back end using Google Sheets, finding creators.
Where'd you find the VAs?
So funny enough, sophomore year, I graduated from Villanova in May,
Mm-hmm.
civil engineering, then found myself in the software space.
Wild.
Yeah. But while I was there sophomore year, I was flipping websites, and I met this guy through Fiverr, Omar, and we stayed in touch, and he's done work for me for the past, 5 years?
So you just found your VA on Fiverr.
Yeah, like sophomore year. So what? That's it's like 4 years ago now.
Wow.
And always stayed in touch with him. Super good English because his dad was American.
Clutch.
And
Dude.
so
Nothing
never-
better than a good VA.
There's no ever like a barrier, I guess, to speaking with him. And then I was like, "You want to do work?" And he was like, "Yeah." And so now he's handling the sourcing, putting them on a Google Sheet, DMing them, and then to manage them, actually, we use a platform called Growy. So I actually think that the developer used to work at WAP.
Really?
Solomon.
I think we talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
So if you do Growy for influencer.
Growy basically helps manage our entire, we haven't filled out just forms, keep them in a Notion database, but once they get onboarded Growy, it's how we pay them, contracts,
You
posts.
pay them through Growy,
Yeah.
and then
Basically, Growy can cheat. They posted 4 videos, 8 posts across TikTok and Instagram. They hit the view guarantee, and we can pay out.
it tracks the amount of views they have.
Yep.
Cool, man.
So that makes our life so much easier.
Yeah, for sure.
So then I can focus on just texting them to make sure, hey, did this get posted? What's the video looking like? It's a lot of following up.
Can you talk to them directly through Growy?
No, there's SMS blasts, but I haven't used that yet. I just created a group chat with I hired someone to help manage creators now, so I can focus on the organic stuff and some other moves we're making. But
Interesting. Do you have any automation to use text, SMS, email at all?
we have an email automation, just use Zapier. Once we confirm they sign the contract, we check it off in Notion. They get an onboarding email to make sure that we sent them, this is how it's supposed to be done. If you don't do this, you will not get paid.
Are you using a DocuSign or like
We use agree.com.
agree.com
But,
for contracts?
Yep.
Do you have any text automations or emails natively in the product?
What, to downloads?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we collect all the emails in the onboarding. So
Okay.
we hit them with a wall where you can sign in with Google, Apple, or Skip. And if you do sign in, then we have the email stored. We'll just send them
Email
emails
automations?
if they haven't bought a subscription yet.
The design seems pretty important though, like especially in the consumer social space. So like, what was the thought process behind it? You said you made it cool, so it's all black.
We
it's
made it
like
cool.
the
We just
logo's pretty clean.
wanted to give the impression that it's a premium product. And if something's premium, people are more willing to pay for it.
How do you do that?
I think you just need to make everything really simple, refined, and use good fonts and colors, and just make that whole experience enjoyable.
What font did you use?
DM Sans. It's a
Oh.
Google font.
What is it?
DM Sans.
Is that
So-
like the whole product?
Yeah,
That font?
yeah.
What else were you saying?
Yeah, so I mean, if we just have all these different things that come in conjunction to build a brand, people are more willing to pay. But if it looks scrappy and just put together, like no one's going to pay for that.
Interesting. I feel like that's like the number one thing I saw all people struggle with when I used to make content on software. Is design was always atrocious. Is there like, so that's the font. Is there anything else like padding distance or like?
So we use a principle where we only use multiples of 4. So the same size as the text, like the text size would be a multiple of 4. So it would be 12, 16, 18. In terms of the padding, it will follow the same principle. So it would be about 8 pixels away from the border.
Interesting.
That allows the app to be just very clean, as Alex was saying, like sleek. So if any designers are listening to this, follow that one principle. Use a multiple of 4 for everything you do with design.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think a lot of apps get that wrong. They think just because they built a product and they're solving a solution that is going to sell, but there's so much more at play that you have to get the brand nailed. Like you have to get the brand nailed. Like we initially started with the app name called NoFap, so the whole movement is called NoFap. So if we just leverage that name as our app name, then the SEO would go crazy. That was trademarked, so we couldn't do it. But Quitter, now it's like, look, get on Quitter, quit porn, and it works.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's great.
Looking back at it too, it's kind of funny how this all happened. I love growth. He loves product, and he loves design. And it's like looking back at it, you never would have thought it would all just meshed. Because you could build an app, make it really crappy, nail distribution, then get money, slowly build it better. You could build a app product heavy and have little distribution, but has a high K factor. But I think what makes this work is that we all genuinely work together, and it works.
What's churn looking like?
Looked at it today. Retention rates, I'd say they're above average for the industry when we looked at it for 30-day, 90-day, or 60-day and 120-day. So.
Okay, how have you combated churn? Or what would be steps to combat churn?
I honestly don't think we've looked into it much.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's on our roadmap, and that's why we say we're so far behind in so many ways, because we haven't thought about this
You
stuff.
probably don't have enough data to really
We don't
know.
either.
Yeah.
We sell mostly yearly plans, so retention doesn't matter, because once
Mhm.
they pay us, we got their money, we just reinvest it.
But to answer your
yearly?
question, I think that retention and preventing churn comes down to building authority. So we reached out to some just YouTubers who are really well connected in the whole like your brain, how to protect your brain, anti-porn, anti-this. And when I talked to them, it was very professional. They're like, well, if we want to work with you guys, you have to do a study for 6 months. We'll put people through it, make sure it works. This and that and this, blah, 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 blah. And they had a whole board that approves you. And it made me realize, I was like, the next step is involving things of that nature where you go do closed studies. You figure out everything. And then you involve the scientists and neurologists, et
Like
cetera.
a true research study. Interesting.
And then that's, I think, when you get to the next level where it's like you could have one-on-one support. Like you could have high ticket offers. I think also making the app more customizable. But like you said, we don't have enough data to do that right now.
A high ticket offer absolutely makes sense. That's so interesting. It's like an info product in a way, but with a very nice UI, a very good like an actual product behind it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Streamlined information and actual like tools and everything.
Exactly.
The community part is the biggest moat we have, though.
Yeah.
Because you can consume all the resources and use the tools and they'll be defunct, but like the community stays forever.
What am I not asking? Was there anything? This is where my lack of research might not serve me.
How do you get to the next level? What's next?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I think I actually made this tweet earlier, but I deleted it. It was I wrote Project Liquid Death. And I'm sure you're aware, like they just sell water, but they're what, $100 million, billion dollar company. How do they get to that point? Through great branding and, you know, all these stunts that they do. And I think, you know, porn is such a, like OnlyFans and stuff is such a big thing, but the other aspect of that is our app. It's very unknown. So I think if we pull IRL stunts, like we go to these porn star IRL conventions and we just throw purple paint everywhere.
We're rebranding to purple, by the way. If
Yeah.
you want to put,
Okay,
we're
okay.
becoming a like purple app, basically like anti-orange,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Why is everything orange in that industry?
I have no idea.
No idea.
It's like every restaurant's red, so every one of those sites are typically orange.
But
So
like,
that's why purple, just because it's the opposite of
Yeah.
orange.
and I think it's something like imagine you.
It will pop.
I mean, this would be a stunt, but like imagine you found where like I don't know, OnlyFans models are hanging out, and you just throw like purple like goo on them.
Yeah.
As like a YouTube video, and it's like, what the hell is
It's like
this? And
just
it's like quitters
it
attacking you.
neutralized them.
The boys,
yeah.
we'll do like a GoFundMe on Quitter's whole like app.
No, those viral stunts are like really effective. Your goal is to aim for virality. That is what
Exactly.
marketing is supposed to be.
Exactly.
But yeah, other than scaling, right? We want to scale influencers. Organic's a huge push. We haven't even tapped into that yet at all. Paid ads, Twitter, multi-channel, right? Partners with churches, dioceses, things of that nature. There's a big one. But other than that, it's like Alex said, we need to really solidify ourselves as a brand.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are in the position now that you rank number one, that you have the direct-to-consumer stuff down, but like if you really want to scale up, it's all about brand awareness.
Exactly.
And just getting that word in people's heads to the point where if they ever associate, you know, I have a problem, I need to go to that thing. You guys, it's a really good product. So it's very clear what you do. It's like
And also
quit
justifies spending $50,000 for a podcast plug with Theo, right? It's like we
Yeah.
don't know if this is going to convert to make us $50,000 on the podcast,
Yeah.
but our
You
goal
need-
right now is awareness.
you need
So we're
ubiquity.
investing in
Taking
that.
risks.
Like
Exactly.
you need
Keyword.
ubiquity. Yeah.
Keyword.
And
So-
that brand association.
Yeah, so I mean, our strategy has shifted a lot recently. Now we're just putting money up to ads. So we have like $40,000 a month in spend, and it's bringing in, I don't know, like 3 or 4x ROAS. And now we're thinking about just stunts, because that one video with Jeremiah that reached $100,000 in a day, that showed us how valuable virality is. And so if we optimize for that, we should be.
You know Luca Netz? You ever heard of Luca
No.
Netz?
I've
He
heard
did
of him, yeah.
Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah, yeah.
He was the CMO of Gel Blasters, which is the #1 selling toy in America. And that's all they did was just challenges. Like they did like the Gel Blasters like drive-by challenge. So you just like stage a drive-by.
I think it's a bit hard for
On TikTok.
an anti-porn company.
I like your idea of like doing it with the villains of the industry.
Oh no, that was the thought. But
That's
yeah,
good.
I mean, it's like scaling paid ads, influencers. I think a big thing with influencers is that their audience is primed for the product, and that's why it works so well. But I'm curious to see, like, for example, Jeremiah, how does it work in 4 months? Does it still convert the same way? If he's still going viral, he's going to reach new people, so it should. If you're not going viral, maybe it's a 3-month, all right, we're going to have this for 3 months to move to the next guy. And then we can also invest comedians, skits.
Just general
partnerships.
ubiquity.
General, just like you said, virality.
Mhm.
Go to Times Square and like just pop goo on everyone.
That'll work.
Imagine we found like all the child predators living in New York City and targeted them with like goo.
Yeah, that would get partner with Vitality on that.
Bro,
Or
we
Vitality.
would like that'd be crazy.
We just lined up a tweet where it's going to be like Quitter in talks to purchase Pornhub and shut it
Yeah.
down. And hopefully
There's like a
that's-
PR.
And everyone's gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Who the hell is Quitter?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But people will like it and be like, finally, thank God, someone's taking
Yeah,
action.
yeah. That's
and that
smart,
brand
bro.
awareness is going to help
Uh-huh.
us so much.
And it's also
long term.
that's like a fake it till you make it, right? We're in no position to buy Pornhub or anyone.
Well, it's just like a troll. As long as you're lighthearted and fun about it, and not
Yeah.
actually like going out of your way to make it look like extremely real. It's just like funny. I literally saw yesterday on Twitter someone acting like he's the new head of listings at Coinbase, and he changed that to his bio, and he's getting like millions of impressions.
Oh my God.
And everyone thinks it's real. They're all like, "List my coin." I'm like,
Oh my
guys.
God.
oh my god,
It's an
that's
anonymous account.
hilarious.
So I don't know the legality of these strategies, but all I know is it gets attention, and that's. The
I mean,
world
we're targeting these are like meme pages.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
it's funny.
They get a lot of
yeah,
views
yeah.
and
It's like
likes.
what is it? The
Troll?
bee or something. What the onion type of stuff? Yeah, exactly. That's interesting. I have a format that we just did that would crush for you guys. I'll show you guys right after this. It got like 300K views on our first day, and it's just
Amazing.
super subliminal. But it would work perfectly for what you guys do too. Is there anything else you guys want to go through? I think this is like, I like to keep it concise, straight to the point, how the strategy works, what you emphasize with onboarding. I think this marketing strategy, the design principles, and then that onboarding flow is really what made the app make or break.
I got two things, right? So one, everything has to be holistic to be exceptional and to work fluidly. If you're lacking in one area, you're not going to...
Kills the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly, right. Another thing is, if you're going into marketing, show the app in the video.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zach said this as well. If you don't show the app, you're not going to make as much money. Like,
Mhm.
we've had videos reach like multiple millions of views, but they've only brought in like $1,000, $2,000 because we
Mm.
have quit porn with Quitter in the actual description. We don't have them showing the app.
Mm.
So I don't think views matter necessarily if you're not showing the app.
Oh, you need to show the app.
Yeah, you need
There's
to show
no-
the app.
For this strategy, that's like the key. It's like organically the app is being used in the app
But it's
to solve the
also
problem.
it's understanding that look, pain point, either show it, tell it, and then the app's solution. Like I just got rid of probably $10,000 worth of contract value yesterday because we realized that we signed them, they were going to integrate the product into the video, but they want to integrate it at 2 minutes, and I'm like, no. And then they're like, I was like, let's just give us a refund. We'll pay for your time. Let it be. Like it's not going to work. But it's like they have the target audience, but it doesn't work with the video, so it's not worth the views that we're paying for.
That makes sense.
I think
you have to learn that through iteration.
Oh, exactly. I think another thing to mention is also don't procrastinate. If you have an app idea and you have a way to do it, just build it. Right? You don't have to be exceptional just to start. My first app failed.
Yeah,
I'm
my
pretty sure
first
his
app
first
failed.
app failed. Like, just go do it. Don't like be perfect. Like, you don't have the perfect words in the DM. Like, just go send DMs to 2,000 influencers and see who responds. And the next 2,000, change it up. Like, you don't want to procrastinate and then just nothing happens. You stay where you are. So I think that's a huge piece of this.
Yeah.
So,
Most
like,
important.
you really just need to just like try it
And-
over and over and over and over, and then one day it'll hit.
Mm-hmm.
And stop reinventing the wheel. All these $1 million apps have done the research and A/B testing for you. Why do you think you're different?
Mm.
You know?
So it's like start as fast as possible. Take reference from people who are the best at what they do. Get your thing out there. Don't overthink the onboarding. Put effort into it, but get it out, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And find what works.
Solve
And
a
if
problem.
yourself-
And if you
yeah.
can't solve a problem, make someone problem aware and then solve that problem.
That's the marketing lingo we love right
Yeah.
there.
There we go.
All right. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming all the way out here, across the ocean for me. Appreciate you
Yeah,
coming
I
across the
Ubered them
country.
from DC. There you
yeah,
go.
appreciate you. Where can people find you if they want to reach out to you?
Twitter.
What's your handle?
Breadboy Mac.
Nice. I'll link
Yeah.
in the description.
Alex Slater, 2 L's.
Chris Slater, 2 hours.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you're looking to build an app, reach out to them. I'm sure they'll help you. I appreciate you guys coming on, sharing everything.
Thanks for having us.
Fun
Yeah.
conversation. You guys are beasts.
Yeah.
Keep
Lovely.
crushing it.